The air in the federal courtroom has been thick with anticipation and revelation as prosecutors have meticulously built their case against Sean Diddy Combs. Over 2 intense weeks, a total of 16 witnesses have taken the stand, each adding a piece to the complex puzzle prosecutors are assembling. Their central argument: Combs systematically employed violence, threats, and coercion to exploit women for sex and to safeguard his influential music empire, Bad Boy Records. This article will serve as your academic guide, summarizing the pivotal testimonies that have unfolded, crucial for anyone following the Sean Diddy Combs trial, the Diddy allegations, and the overarching narrative of celebrity justice. The cornerstone: Cassie Ventura's harrowing account. The prosecution's case heavily leans on the 4-day testimony of Cassie Ventura, Combs's former girlfriend and a musician once signed to his label. Ventura, who was notably 8 months pregnant during her testimony, detailed a relationship that she alleged devolved from loving to a decade-long nightmare of abuse, control, and sexual exploitation. She described freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties allegedly orchestrated by Combs, where she was coerced into participating. Her testimony included graphic accounts of physical violence, notably the 2016 hotel incident, which jurors later saw on video. Ventura stated she chose to testify because it was the right thing to do, hoping to end the cycle of guilt and alleged manipulation. Her 2023 lawsuit, though quickly settled, was a catalyst for the federal investigation into Diddy sex trafficking claims. Defense attorneys, during cross-examination, attempted to portray Ventura as a willing participant, using text messages to suggest mutual jealousy and infidelity drove their tumultuous relationship, arguing Combs's violence stemmed from drug addiction and jealousy, not coercive trafficking. Corroborating voices. Witnesses to alleged violence and coercion. Prosecutors strategically called multiple witnesses whose accounts appeared to bolster Ventura's claims. Israel Florez, hotel security guard. Florez's testimony provided the foundation for introducing the shocking 2016 hotel surveillance video showing Combs assaulting Ventura. He described Combs' devilish stare and an alleged bribe attempt to silence him. This Diddy assault video became a crucial piece of evidence. Phillip, male escort. Phillip testified to witnessing Combs throw a bottle at Ventura and drag her by her hair. He recounted being paid for sexual encounters with Ventura while Combs watched, highlighting a disturbing power dynamic that made him fear for his life if he intervened. His testimony speaks directly to the Diddy abuse allegations. Dawn Richard, former Danity Kane member. Richard, who has her own pending lawsuit against Combs, testified to witnessing multiple assaults on Ventura. She recounted Combs attempting to hit Ventura with a skillet and punching her in the face before a music festival, and even punching Ventura in the stomach at a dinner attended by other celebrities like Usher and Neo. The defense questioned her credibility, suggesting her testimony was motivated by a ruined music career. Carrie Morgan, Ventura's former best friend. Morgan corroborated Ventura's accounts of abuse, testifying to seeing Combs drag Ventura by her hair. She also described an incident where Combs allegedly choked her and demanded information about Ventura's supposed infidelity, leading to a $30,000 payout and a confidentiality agreement, which ended her friendship with Ventura. Myla Morales, makeup artist. Morales testified to the aftermath of a 2010 alleged assault, describing Ventura with a swollen eye, busted lip, and knots on her head. She stated Ventura stayed with her to recover, but declined to go to an ER, reinforcing the fear victims often experience. The inner circle, employees and associates. Speak testimony from former employees offered an inside look into Combs' alleged operations and control. David James, former personal assistant. James painted a picture of Mr. Combs' kingdom, where employees were there to serve. His tasks ranged from stocking hotel rooms and allegedly buying drugs to driving Combs, allegedly armed, to confront Suge Knight, an incident that made James fear for his life and eventually quit. George Kaplan, former personal assistant. Testifying under an immunity deal, Kaplan recounted quitting after 15 months due to Combs' repeated violence. He witnessed Combs become violent on 3 occasions, including finding Ventura crying and bruised. He also described setting up hotel rooms for freak-offs with essentials like candles, baby oil, and lubricant, and cleaning up afterward to prevent leaks to the media. This touches on the Diddy racketeering charges by illustrating operational methods, the freak-offs, and alleged coercion. Further testimonies. The concept of freak-offs was a recurring theme, with witnesses describing the setup and alleged coercion involved. Sharay Hayes, male escort, the Punisher. Hayes testified to being hired multiple times by Combs and Ventura for sexy, erotic scenes. He described scenarios where Ventura would be covered in baby oil while Combs watched, nude and veiled, offering subtle directions. While Hayes noted Ventura sometimes flinched, he also said she appeared comfortable, a point the defense seized upon to question coercion. Frederick Zemmer, hotel manager. Zemmer of L'Hermitage, Beverly Hills, read hotel notes on Combs's guest. Profile stating Combs always spills candle wax on everything and uses excessive amounts of oil, requiring deep cleaning. This seemingly mundane detail corroborates other testimonies about the nature of the freak-offs. Federal agents and evidence recovered. The prosecution presented evidence gathered from searches, aiming to link Combs directly to the tools of alleged crimes. Yasmin Binda, Homeland Security Investigations agent. Binda testified about the search of Combs' hotel room post-arrest, where investigators found cash, MDMA, ketamine, and supplies like lubricant and baby oil, items linked to the freak-offs. Gerald Gannon, Homeland Security Investigations agent. Gannon detailed the discovery of parts of 2 AR-15 assault-style rifles with defaced serial numbers and a loaded handgun at Combs' Miami Beach home, near materials allegedly used for freak-offs. Prosecutors argue this shows a threat of violence underpinning the coercion. Joshua Croft, Homeland Security Investigations agent. Croft testified about extracting data from Ventura's laptops, one of which included a user profile for Frank Black, an alias reportedly used by Combs. The wider net. Alleged threats and retaliation, Regina Ventura, Cassie Ventura's mother. She testified to taking out a home equity loan to pay Combs $20,000 after he allegedly threatened to release sex tapes of her daughter. Though Combs later returned the money, the threat itself is a key element. She also provided photos of Cassie's injuries, documenting the alleged abuse. Scott Mescudi, Kid Cudi. The musician testified that his brief relationship with Cassie Ventura was met with violent threats from Combs. He recounted Combs allegedly breaking into his home and suspected Combs orchestrated the firebombing of his car after he began seeing Ventura. This testimony highlights the alleged lengths Combs would go to maintain control. Expert insight and defense posture. Don Hughes, psychologist. As an expert witness, Hughes explained the psychology of abusive relationships, including why victims often stay or return, feeling trapped or forming trauma bonds. While not directly analyzing Combs and Ventura, her testimony provided context for Ventura's actions. Throughout these testimonies, Sean Combs has maintained his plea of not guilty, denying all allegations of sexual assault or trafficking. His legal team has consistently argued that his actions, while perhaps indicative of jealousy and drug addiction leading to domestic violence, do not constitute the more severe charges of sex trafficking. They portray his sexual activities as private, albeit unconventional choices. What lies ahead? As the trial prepares to resume, federal prosecutors are expected to call Combs' former assistant Capricorn Clark and representatives from Los Angeles fire and police departments. The testimonies heard thus far have laid a significant foundation, presenting a narrative of alleged control, violence, and exploitation. The world watches as the scales of justice weigh the evidence in this landmark Sean Diddy Combs trial. The coming days will undoubtedly bring further revelations as more witnesses contribute to this unfolding legal drama.